Hello, vinyl community and everybody else. This is the random picks, another random picks video. It's the 8th one, and this time it's xxxKevyMetalxxx who picked the records, and he had a very easy series of number here because he picked the first record in the first shelf, the second record in the second shelf, or not shelf, but section. The third record from the third section, the fourth from the fourth, and so on, the fifth from the fifth. So was very simple to pick these out. And also, because he only made me have a look in the 5 first sections, the material isn't as divided as in the previous videos, but still it's not the same music altogether. First of all, the first section, the first album. It's not my album, it's not my record, so I'm going to show you a record now that doesn't belong to me. Well, what do I mean? Well, it's my girlfriend's. She has a pile of albums in the first sections, mainly records that I had bought for her or that I thought that she might enjoy, and she often says that she does enjoy it. So, the first record isn't mine, but I don't think she mind if I show this to you. It is a record with the Swedish opera singer Nikolaj Gedda. And this is a record on EMI, his master's voice, in the series xxxKevyMetalxxx. It's called En tonigt ringer den lilla klockan, klassiska ryska folksånger, and it's Russian folk songs sung in Swedish with a Russian male chorus led by Nicholas Piafonsky, and a balalaika orchestra conducted by Lonya Kulbus. This was recorded back in 1963, originally for Capitol Records. But this is a later reissue from 1977. It was a major reissue series of good old recordings from the EMI archives around 1977. I think it was because it was 100 years since the first, since the phonograph was invented. So, and with this silvery style of simple sleeve, and I think they used the red. No, it's the black and gray. His master's voice label. Yeah, you've seen it that many times, I'm sure. Great singer Nikolaj Gedda, and he's international star as well, and he has a great sense for these Russian songs, many of them incredibly familiar, even though we may not even know what their real names are. But I enjoy listening to that as well. Oops, sorry. It wasn't the record that fell down. Oh yeah, another record that I'm very happy that I could pick out. I showed this before. I've even made a special video where I show this record, and it was about Robert Crumb, the great artist in the word's proper sense. I mean, cartoonist, also musician, because it's this. His first album with the Cheap Suit Serenaders from 1974 on the Blue Goose label. Very nice album. I'm very happy to have this. I love the sleeve, and I love the label. But most of all, I love the music, this Americana style, with old ideas from the 20s, 30s. Robert Crumb is a great collector and has great knowledge of old 78 RPMs. So I was very happy that this turned up. And let's stay in United States. And you may notice that it's a bit the style of these picks are a bit of the folk music, in the folk music genre, and that's not strange at all, because the first 4 shelves are with different kinds of folk music, international folk music, from USA, from England, from Ireland, mainly from USA, and also country, also folk rock and stuff like that. I keep those all together for now. The next record is a great record that I bought not that long ago. I bought it up in Luleå when I was there visiting in my old hometown. And it's the Klezmer, Notes from Underground. I've got 3 albums with them. One of the other albums actually has a sleeve that's designed by Robert Crumb. I showed that in the Robert Crumb video. This is a later album from 1984 on the Flying Fish label. That looks like this. And it's great Klezmer music. Traditional but also modern at the same time. Music filled with so much joy. I can't really describe it in any other way. I love Klezmer music. And this is great group. Lots of heart, lots of good musicianship. And we stay a bit in the American folk, but now closer to the blues, but not really. We talk about what is often called the songster, which is a bit like a blues singer, but more singing the traditional folk songs without putting too much of their own personality into it, but still more strict interpretations. And then we talk about a man who has already been up in these Random Picks videos once, and it's Josh White. And this is an album, a mono album of the Ace of Hearts label, which was, yeah, there you see, which was subsidiary to Decca. And I think this album is from, well, sometime in the 1960s. This is the Ace of Hearts label, the red one with silver printing. I'm a great admirer of Josh White. He was very popular here in Sweden. He made many tours here and was popular among the general audience, the general public, but also among other Swedish artists who adored him. And this is good, since this is great compilation, and I think the recordings are from early 50s or maybe late 40s, because it's an interesting mix between American folk songs like and jazz songs like Nobody Knows You When You're Down and Out, Strange Fruit, and also Australian folk songs like Waltzing Matilda and the traditional John Henry and the Irish Molly Malone. So it's really a multicultural folk record, and a very nice sleeve, I have to say. This painting of Josh White looks very good. Good pick. Right, the 5th and last pick is something that hasn't been up in these Random Picks videos before, I don't think so. It's a picture disc, and I don't have that many picture discs because I don't really know why, because, well, maybe I'm more interested in the contents than having a nice picture disc. Picture discs often looks better on the wall than on the turntable. But sometimes interesting material can be issued on these picture discs, and this is a good example. It's an interview picture disc with Elvis Costello, one of my heroes from my youth. Oh, let's have it the right way. Looks like this. And what it is a quite long and deep interview with Elvis Costello, in which he talks about some of his early records. And I think, I'm not sure, but I think the recording is from the mid-80s, and so is this picture disc. I haven't found that much information about it, but I haven't listened to it for several years, but I seem to recall that it's about the early works. And it talks a lot about songwriting too. And the sound quality is quite bad. I mean, it's like a cheap tape recorder that's placed on the table at the cafe while they're having coffee and talking. But it's interesting to listen to. He has many interesting things to say. So I'm very happy I have it. I admire him very much, both as a performer and as a songwriter. So, sorry, Heavy Metal. No metal records in among your picks. I haven't got that much heavy metal. Well, I haven't got any heavy metal at all. I've got some hard rock. I've got some Led Zeppelin and Deep Purple, and I even have AC/DC, Back in Black. But I'm not really a metal man. I'm more wooden. I'm more like made of wood. All right. But thank you for letting me off easily by making it very easy for me to pick these different records from my collection, and nice to look at them, and I will listen to some of them later. That's one thing that I've started doing when you out there asked me to pick these different numbers, that I try to listen to them all again and see. Some of them I've listened to for many years, some of them I've listened to quite recently. And it's quite fun because sometimes when I decide, I really want to listen to a record now, and I'll go over to my record shelves, and I can spend maybe sometimes 30 minutes there because I can't really decide which record I want to listen to. So this is quite good. That have somebody else deciding for me. Anyway, thank you for showing your interest, and it's been great fun. And this was the 8th random picks video. Thank you, xxxKevyMetalxxx. Bye for now.